5. As we know, we just went to the honorable enrollment. The matchmaking system worked. So here is the Abyssal Expedition. We are on the main account. This is the Insomnia account. It is not the pay to win account. So let's go ahead and we will get into the Abyssal Expedition. So if you have questions, absolutely let me know. This one, we're going to go left is for the mages, right is for celerity. So we're going to go with the right just to make it easy. It looks like a lot of it was filling up pretty quick. But here, so when you enter the Abyssal Expedition, first thing you want to do, of course, is cultivate the first land you move into and then get into the heroes. With the team here, I'm actually going to go with the God tier comp. That way we can make this relatively easy, I'm hoping, from the beginning. So right off the bat, we're going to add the God tier comp. This is going to be the priority that we're running in the very, very beginning. And then here we have Taylene, we have Rowan, we have Aziz, we need Mahira. Where is our Mahira? There she is. What's going on, Blaine and Augusto? So there is the comp. Then for our second comp, we're going to run with Iran. So I want to go with Iran. We'll go with a couple other rangers here. We'll go with Laika, who is going to definitely support Iran. We will run with Tassie, so we'll go with support. So we'll run Tassie there. I'm thinking probably Gorvo. We'll stick with our regular kind of team comp here. And then let's go with a mage. We'll go with Sophia. We'll go with these two comps. My guild made a list of who would be on the right and left, and I was put on the right. Yeah, we did the same, Blaine. So there we go. So here is our team comps. Remember, when you first join the Abyssal Expedition, you do not have any relics. You won't have any relics for quite a while. So put in your 2 best teams exactly who you're looking to build. So here we put in our God tier comp. So let's actually go down this way. But let's see where the boss is. So here we are. So we're going down. Regardless of where we're going, this is where we started. So we're going to go down. This is the rest of the expedition. So we're going to start making our progression down. So this first battle is going to be trivial. So let's swap in our formations here. Again, going with the God tier comp just to make it relatively easy. Even looking at the power here, 6, they have 252 because we're on a high level here. We can actually drop out, let's say 2 heroes, get about the same level, slow down the speed a little bit because we do not want to die here. But essentially taking places here with 3 heroes versus using all of the heroes. That way we can have some of the room for movement tiles. Should I go for the easier gate or the one that's closer? Coco, it depends a lot on the expedition because sometimes people will call out exactly which boss they're going to. Some expeditions kill both bosses, but make sure that you are always placing a hero here. So looking at the map, haven't marked any tiles. So let's go here. They are already at this gate. So this one, we will go ahead and, there we go. So we can actually mark. And we can name it boss to be killed. Boom. Or boss to kill. Boss to kill. Now when we go confirm, boom, look on the map, boss to kill. If you click it, it'll bring you right to where that tile is. So everybody knows where they're going regardless of where they started. That way there's no confusion. So here we will continue just making our way down. Again, trivial, we'll stay with this team. We want to get to tier 2s. Especially here, we want to get to tier 2s. We want to get to see if we can take some tier 3s, which I'm hoping with swapping out this team a little bit. Which side is better for mages? The left side. The left side is the mage side. Right, so there we got the resting, which is the debuff. So here we'll go with a village 2. It is going to be challenging. This one we will actually swap in the rest of our team since this one's going to be challenging. As you can see, relatively the same power. We can slow it down a little. We don't want anyone to die. If someone dies, we lose 2 stamina. If we don't kill them in the first 30 seconds, we lose 2 stamina. If we lose, we not only lose the battle, but we lose all of the stamina essentially that we had. This team, however, is a little bit more difficult to kill heroes off the bat within that 30-second mark. Going to be really close here. If Taylene can get Tassie down, Tassie's going to be difficult, just like Thorin. Thorin is another hero. So boom, we're at a minute, so we lost 2 stamina right there. Yep, left is mage, right is rangers. Made my first purchase. Ainz is officially on my team. Very, very cool, Logan. Very powerful hero. As you can see here, defeat enemies within 30 seconds. We lost 1 star there, but that's okay because that is way better than a defeat. Another player just started right here, so we are pathing towards them at this point. We'll keep it on the 2-speed. Want to make sure that, again, the team is not dying here. We got Rowan's ult. There's the stun. There's the mesmerize. Aileen doing all of her damage. There's another stun. Remember, they are locked out. It looks like completely frozen. Yeah, how's it going tonight, Logan? Wanted to get into the Abyssal Expedition. A lot of people said we should stream it, so here we are. If you have questions, if you join the Abyssal Expedition, let me know. How are you killing Camp 2 right at the beginning? So, Augusto, it is dependent on your power. So essentially even here, so that's Camp 2s. Here are Camp 3s, which are going to be difficult. Hoping we can pick up a relic relatively quickly, which usually you can. Let's take this too. Remember, the big thing here, which a lot of people don't realize, is since the Abyssal Expedition is kind of normalized between all the gear, between everything, is I have really high signature items on these heroes. I have furniture on these heroes, including the resonating crystal. The level of the resonating crystal divided by 10 plus 240 will give you the level of the heroes. So when you're looking at the heroes here, Augusto, these heroes are more than likely a lot higher than the heroes that you're starting with, just for the simple fact we are, or my crystal level is that much higher. Yeah, the God comp, I tried it in here with, which we made that right at the time. I tried it in here with Damon, so actually replacing my hero with Damon. Seemed to work okay, but I was still having pretty much the same problem originally, was just kind of stalling. You can even go up if you want. See how they're kind of coming down. You can go up. The ideal within the first bit is to connect everybody. It's kind of that is the point. So as more people enter, as you can see down here, you want to go ahead and connect everybody. Hoping we can get a relic, which we did. We got a relic right there, but we're running celerity. So remember, we want to save this, but these heroes we will build, so we can go with a little more attack because we'll continue running this. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, we'll have enough to squeeze out a win on a 3. This is where, again, you do want to slow it down quite a bit because we don't want any heroes dying right off the bat. We got the twins ult, which is good. A second ult with a hero there and the twins. Hoping that the relic will definitely help us. But look at all the totems there. Nope, see, we lost disease. Yeah, threes we're not going to take. So we're going to have to stay at 2s at this point. So I'm thinking we'll come down this way. Again, with these ones being trivial, we can actually swap out. Let's swap out these 2. We could probably do it with 2. I wonder, I don't think she can do it solo yet. Let's try these 2 though, since these are 2 we weren't using. Usually 1 or 2 you can run with, especially if we get the mesmerize up. Boom. See, you can clear it with 2. We ran it with 3 the first time. We got it with 2 on that time. That way, essentially, we're splitting teams and splitting the resources that they got here. Is there any good team that ain't God comp? Yes, so Dark Hearted, pretty much any of, if you're going Rangers, if you're going Sork, our second team is the Wilder team. Not very expensive to build. It's not the God tier comp. The Wilder team works absolutely great for taking camps, especially early. There's a couple combinations that do work really, really well, especially right off the beginning. The God tier comp just makes it relatively easy, especially when you're fighting heroes like Zolrath. But Aziz is killing them out. I did my dailies and then signed into AE. I saw that 20 people had already picked the East and only 1 picked the West. Yes, D, and you'll kind of see the same. Through a lot of the battles, you will see the same. The thing is, once the right side is full, they're not going to have a choice. They'll automatically be placed on the other side. So essentially, if that's not the side you want, pick the side that you want and then let the rest of the players worry about the other side. There's going to be a choice where you're going to have to. My guild said that if I went casual or didn't get prints in the AE, I would be kicked from the... That's not too good, Blaine. There's no reason to have that much stress on the AE. It's not super difficult. It's not any reason by any means to kick somebody from a guild because they didn't hit prints. There's a lot of players that won't hit prints, but you know what? If they're willing to help you, if your guild's willing to work together, Blaine, it's very, very easy to hit prints when you have multiple players going for the same thing. Even 3 players, 4 players, 5 players, once you start getting relics, it makes it very, very easy to hit the print status if you have multiple players going for the exact same thing. Gear does not affect AE. Law, close by a little bit. Gear does not affect AE. Gear is absolutely set by the tier level. Everyone is tier level 1. However, Law, faction bonuses on gear make a difference. So the faction bonuses, so essentially here, when we look at my team, so if I have Iran, for instance, equipped completely with his gear, he will get more stats. He will get tier 1 gear with the faction bonus, so he will get the bonus. Same with any of your heroes. Make sure when you're getting your heroes, make sure you are equipping them with gear. Since Taylene has 4 tier 2 pieces, they will be normalized to tier 1 in the Abyssal Expedition, but the faction gear will stay with them. Yep, so you will get the mythic faction tier 1 versus the gear that does not have the tier bonus, essentially. You want to make sure that you got the faction gear. It'll make a difference. I mean, especially 4 pieces of faction gear can really make a difference because the stats add up. Here is just back here loving a totem for some reason. But Nemitsu is one of the heroes in here. Very difficult to deal with because of the totems, especially at this level. Nemitsu is very hard. Orthos is difficult. Thorin is difficult to deal with. Tassie's difficult because you have to chase her around everywhere. She can be another hero that's really difficult to deal with. If I switch once I enter AE, will it affect AE heroes? Yes, it will. So that's what I've been told. Yes, it will affect the AE heroes if you switch the gear. If you're switching out just when you're doing the attack, make sure that you have the gear equipped is essentially what you want. So your goal when you first join the AE, just like here, is the first thing you want to do. I think we're out on that team, is essentially the first thing you want to try to do is take 20 lands. That's really the only thing you want to focus on from the beginning, is taking your 20 lands. Once you have 20, you can build from there, but the 20 is the gold. Yeah, Oden and Flora, definitely very, very tough as well. So here, moving down, so this will actually connect us, which would be nice. Again, here's Thorin. And that just means that Lyca's hit points are going to go absolutely crazy to nothing. Welcome board. How is your Abyssal Expedition going? So there we go. So we are connected, still trying to move down. Looks like we might have had a couple more players join on the right side. Left side looking okay. We did mark our boss to kill, which is good. Because now we can go back and look at the 2s. Since we're already connected, we can go back, we can look at some of the 2s that we're going to pick up here. And we can essentially just start taking land. Like I said, 20 land is what you want to look for in the beginning. Once you get there, left or right side, depends. The right side is for the rangers. The left side is for the mages, essentially per the boss. You can still do celerity on both sides if that's really the heroes you have, but it's up. We're 13th at the moment. I see you're first. I think on the pay to win account, we did make some progression as soon as it opened. I ran out of stamina, so literally I'm just hanging out waiting. Let's see if by chance It's still going to be difficult. Difficult is just that. Taking a 3, I'm not strong enough to take a 3 if this was a little bit lower, but it looks like it is still going to be pretty challenging. So we will continue our movement down till we're out of stamina, is essentially the point that you want to get to. Once we are out of stamina, which there we lost Tassie. Usually we'd stop and reset it, but let's see. So we'll grab there. I think this would be a little bit better. I want to try to kill all of these front heroes very, very early. Got to banish. Oh, it looks like she took a Gorval really quick. Yeah, pushing T3s once. Yeah, I'm right there, board. I took one T3. I tried a second one, couldn't get it. My crystal level on the pay to win account is definitely not high enough at this point. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more leveling on the crystals, essentially. We got a banish on Isabella. Antandra, very, very tough to take down. Unless you can freeze her, but look at her heals. Even there, she's back to full health. We need to stun her. There we go. When is the big patch? So HK, a lot of people have said Sunday. So Sunday is the rumor that I have been hearing for the patch that is coming, is Sunday. So Sunday might be the drop. Here again, we'll continue to take these 2s. If we can sit on a bunch of 2s, then actually upgrade these 2s to 4s in just a little bit will be very, very cool. That'll be a good start to the Abyssal Expedition. And then essentially we will just continue from here. That's correct. T2, yes, standardized to T1. It all goes T1. Everything is T1 mythic. Couple things that aren't affected. Of course, the faction bonuses on the gear makes a big difference. The Elder Tree is not affected. The signature items are not affected. The furniture is not affected, meaning that if you have any of those higher, you are going to find benefit in them. You're going to get benefit in them if you do have any of those items significantly higher. And I didn't even look. I think this is 2. Was that double? I thought we got a double banish. That almost looked like we got both heroes banished there. You were still just right on the verge of not being strong enough to take this. Even though I'm going to lose 2 stamina there, we'll still be able to take this. Does the faction gear have to be mythic? Yes, the faction gear does have to be mythic. It is what I've heard. Faction does matter though, so don't fodder your low faction. Oh, faction does. There you go. That is another one. I think we're pretty close. So we got 18 here. Let's see if we can take this one. Another Antandra. Early Antandra is very, very tough. Later, very easy to kill. But if you let her scale, does a lot of damage. Very, very hard to kill. Yeah, Cetrana. Cetrana is tough. So here that is 19. So we are almost done. I think we might not be able to take any more, but we can actually start. Looks like he's taking that one. Let's try this top one. That's pretty much it for the gear that we're going to have. So we're going to have Gorval. We should be able to take this one. We have the twins. Let's drop out Gorval for the twins. I'm hoping this one is just going to be stuns and Taylene. We should be able to get it down as well as Sophia. There's the big haste buff with the sleep, the slumber, very, very powerful. Antandra again. Oh, we should have her down. Why don't you go 10 celerity heroes off the bat? Usually I would. What I do right now, I'll show you. So celerity heroes, When you come in here and you don't have any relics, so when you first enter and you don't have anything, now that they're done with stamina, some of these, like, well, we could have kept him in. We could keep her in too. So essentially, that's what you'll do. So you come in here with your two best teams. Essentially, when your two best teams are burnt, then you come through here, add your celerity heroes, which it ranks them from the strongest to the weakest, essentially. When you come in here for the Rangers, so we want Pharrell in here. Pharrell, amazing crowd control. Gwen does okay, but a lot of heroes do a lot better than Gwen when it comes to celerity. Kalthar does really good with celerity. Thalia does really good, which I almost have her up to Ascended. She is very, very close. Thinking Verk, and then we'll add Kalthar. So now they start at 0. We have our 20 lands, so now we just park. So you do get recover 4 stamina every hour. So now you just come back in a couple hours, and what you'll be doing is hopefully pathing a lot more towards the boss. So as you can see, they're starting to path quite a bit down here, moving down here, getting to where the first boss is. Once we fill in this little middle section with the rest of the players, everyone on this right side will path to the boss. So they will actually path to this boss. This is where we are going to set up camp. This is what is marked. It might take a day or two before we start attacking this boss, because you want relics at least 2.2. So when you're building relics, you want this level 2, and probably these top 2 relics are really the main focus for celerity. Same with the sorcery, is you want the damage relics. So any relic that is bringing damage or bringing double damage is what you're looking for when you're building the 30,000 attack there. The 20,000 attack, you want to build the relics that are going to do damage. The bosses don't relatively do too much damage. Even the final boss doesn't do too much damage. So making sure that you are putting in the heroes that are going to significantly increase your damage. This is going to be our team until we unlock this third row. Third row is going to be dedicated to a boss to fight, or a team to fight the boss. So we'll put Isolde in there. We'll put Saurus in there. We'll put a couple heroes in here that are going to be specifically to fight the boss, depending on the side. So we went this side, so Might will work, Celerity will work. But like I said, right now we are just camped. We are maxed out at our 20 lands, which is exactly what you want. You just wait for relics. We get 1,100 an hour, meaning every hour we're going to be able to build a relic. Let's get back to a couple more questions here. Yeah, that's why we don't go the celerity D is we're going to have to swap some of the heroes out. When you come in here with no relics, you don't have anything. Once you come in here, you can usually take the 2s. Sometimes you can take the 3s. On my pay to win account, I took some of the 3s with the God tier comp with the lockout. I took some of the 3s, which are pretty powerful. It said it was difficult, and I still won. But again, it is based on your level. So based on your crystal level, your resonating crystal, as you level this up, which there's level 390, so that would make a difference. It's your crystal level divided by 10. So this gives me 39. So essentially, this gives me 39 points, which means the heroes in here will be our 240 level, which is where everyone base 240 plus our 39 points, giving us 279. We should have gained that 1 level before we went in here, but I didn't realize we were that close. So that is 279. So my 39 points for the crystal level, my 240, which is the base level. If you're below 240, I believe it puts you at 240. So you'll be at 240. So imagine now if for some players that are really far in the game, if this level was 450, if this was 500, if this was 600, you're going to add 60 levels to your heroes, which is very powerful. So essentially here, if you had a max out resonating crystal, these would start at 300 instead of 279, which makes a huge, huge difference. Your baseline with a team for the synergy. Yes, yep, exactly, D. Yeah, when you go in there, like I said, you don't have any relics. Drez is good. Yes, Drez is good, especially if you have a signature item law. Drez with the shield and with relics, very, very powerful hero as you continue to build this tree because he can shield himself. Same reason why Cecilia does so good is because she has the damage mitigation herself, which is very, very powerful. She can keep herself alive. Ezio's really good in here. Kelthar's good in here. Iran, Leica, of course, very good in here. Very, very good celerity heroes. Good luck on the AE. I feel free. A big opening whenever we want. Sent you an email. Yep, I seen that. I've actually been really, really busy. I'll definitely do the summons. I need to send my heroes for the expedition. This weekend I can get it done. If you still want me to do the summons, let me know. I can definitely get it done this weekend. But it's been really busy with everything, really busy with work. With holidays coming up, we have a lot of stuff going on with the family. Had family today, have family coming over tomorrow, so it's been a little bit crazy right now. Can you take T3s and T4s with no relics? Yes, you can, board. Yep, which I think that might have been someone else's. Yeah, you can absolutely take 3s and 4s. On the main expedition, I know we already have some 3s and 4s down. So it is definitely possible, especially if you have the higher level. So people can't just bank a crap ton of coins. Oh, the new lab. Yeah, we've ran the new lab quite a bit. It actually just reset. We've been running the Dismal lab every time. It seems like there was definitely an adjustment period for the lab. Once we ran it a couple times, essentially, it was relatively easy. Once we ran it a couple times and once we got used to the lineup that the lab brings, the lab, not very difficult at all now. The Dismal Maze, the last couple times I've even ran through, has been relatively easy. Are you pushing Alna on your pay to win? Yes, I will, board. Yep. Alna, I definitely want to build. I love how she looks. Absolutely. I love the frame. I'm gonna have to buy quite a bit of cards to actually get her. You can't level up your heroes now. What do you mean? Not sure what you mean, Law. Do you change militia when you change guild, or does it change during every new Abyssal? The militia will stay the same. Well, the militia will change. So every time that you go into the expedition, I think that's what you mean, Manuel. When you go into the expedition, if you're in the guild, so if you do casual, it will put you with other heroes in your guild that are casual. If you go with the honorable, it'll prioritize heroes in your guild if they have already run it. So once this opens to everyone that already pre-enrolled are kind of all put together because they're pre-match. That's the matchmaking part. If you enroll after the matchmaking part or the matchmaking process, you just get thrown in with whoever is there. How's the new Dismal? Yeah, Dismal's a little tough just if you have the specific heroes, because remember that it does have the faction differences. This one might be a little bit tough, and this is what everyone is worried about, is the Reaper's Touch. I haven't done it with the reset that just happened, but that is 8 days. This is the one that everyone is really, really concerned about, which I haven't run it. I'll run it a little bit later to see exactly how tough it is. So I'll run that one a little bit later, but definitely we're just camping and sitting on our 20. So essentially what's going to happen now is once we are connected, so once this entire expedition, again, new players are dropping in, it looks like right here, starting to take a couple lands, starting to get connected. Once we are connected, once we move to the boss is kind of phase 1 or day 1, we will take a land such as this one that is all by itself. We'll set up our settlement here. This will be the gate that every player goes through into the next area. So this will be the one kind of to unlock it to the next area. And we will all flood through this gate and continue our progression there. So right now we just wait for everyone else to come in on day 1. We have our 20 lands, which is exactly what you want. When you start getting to the boss, or when you get to the boss, you can start pulling up some of these tiles essentially and start replacing them with villages versus the tiles. The tiles are 0. Village 1s are 1s, 2 3s. You'll start replacing. Remember, you want to go up 2 slots, meaning that if I have this one here, so the very village 1 that I started, when I abandon this village 1 needs to go to a village 3. To be worth it stamina wise, that is going to be the upgrade. You want 2 tiers that you're going up all the way to 5. 5 and higher is what you want. So essentially, by the time of the end of the Abyssal Expedition, you will have 30 T5s and then some T6s, T7s, possible T8s. But a majority of what you'll have is all 5s. You'll drop the 4s, you'll pick up 5s and 6s, and you'll have 5 and higher. If you registered for the AE, if you leave the guild, it keeps you. Yes, it will keep you in the same. Yep. Whichever account you use. This is really the only one that, well, this and the pay to win account. The faction accounts are kind of the one-off accounts, but this is definitely one. I've hit Prince on this account every single time that we've won the A or played in the AE. We've hit Prince on this account. I'm not too worried about it now. We'll definitely hit Prince on this one as well. I just finished the Dismal, the 3rd floor. Yeah, Pacific, what did you think about it? What did you think with the new, some of the new changes, some of the new debuffs? Is the new Celestial Alna throw away twins and Leica comps? Not really. Indara, the new Celestial Hero is not really going to throw away the twins or Leica. Maybe in PvP. PvP, it's definitely going to be really, really changed with her haste debuff, but that's the same thing that Wukong has always brought. So Wukong has always brought the haste debuff, which is this big rod. Or maybe it's this one. Yep, we'll lose 100 haste points for 8 seconds. Wukong has had the haste reduction, similar to what Alna brings, a haste reduction. So we've always had the heroes there that do the haste reduction. So ultimately, it's going to be combinations where you're fighting teams that have the haste reduction, or you're fighting Wukong, or you're fighting Alna. If you're using them, haste reduction doesn't have a huge effect when it comes to the campaign. So when we're actually making progression through here, the haste reduction doesn't have a very, very big effect. The 2 stage comps, you have to skip some if you... Yeah, I figured that board. So going through the Dismal Maze... Yeah, I didn't know the punishments change. Yes, every 8 days. So with the Dismal Maze, this refreshes 7 days, 21 hours. Every 8 days, these are going to change. The permitted factions are changing every 8 days as well, meaning now we can run Light Bears through here, which I will probably do. Unfortunately, we don't have Taylene. We don't have the twins, which could make it for a little bit more of a difficult run, but I would definitely run more support. So this is going to be support, especially because of the Reaper's Touch. Allied hero falls below 25%, but also you have to remember is you can slow down the battles. You can replay them over and over again until you get the RNG to work, essentially. So it might take a long time. It might take swapping out heroes, but you can ultimately get the RNG to work. It is just going to take a little bit of time. What if you can't take a tier 3? You just wait, Pluto. If you can't take the village 3, so if you're in the Abyssal Expedition, we tried a village 3. Even with my team comp, we could not take, we tried this village 3. If they're showing up in red, chances are you're probably not going to be able to take it. If they're showing up in yellow, you can probably take it without a doubt. So now we wait for relics. So essentially we'll collect up our relics. Now we're building celerity. So I'll wait, I'll pick up the Ruthless Chopper, we'll pick up the Hidden Blade, focusing on the attack. Once we have 2 of these relics with my team comp, we'll be able to take Village 3s, no problem. This red will actually turn to yellow, meaning it's challenging, and we'll be able to take those relatively easy. Just takes time, Pluto. What side should you start relative to what heroes? The right side is Celerity, the left side is Mages. So depending which side you want, really makes a difference. Already have Mortis, Lakrita, Zaf, Silas, Pippa, just waiting to build Alna. Yeah, board. I know you have a lot of really, really good heroes board. Sad thing is, I'm the weakest player on the expedition, casual level 104. That's okay, Patrick. Like I've said multiple times, as long as you're doing what you can in the Abyssal Expedition, as long as you're pushing pretty much everything that you need, making the progression, building the relics like you're supposed to, paying attention to the guides, even if you can't push the Abyssal Expedition because of your level or where you're at, just play it to the best of your ability. Honestly, just play it to the best of your ability. Is it possible to buy Arthur, whom I don't have yet, and refund later? Right. Yes, you can, Fox. That's a trick. If you don't have Arthur, you can actually buy his shards, redeem for Eins. So essentially, that's what you'll do here. Since I'm not buying the heroes on here, so we'll go to the barracks. So what you can do is you'll use your token, so you'll use your 25 here to redeem. So we could go ahead and build our hero, which we got 9 more days. So still a couple more days to see what we're short on. So what you're going to do, Clocks, is go in here, do your redemption. So you're going to do your normal redemption just like this. Once you exchange it, boom, bada bing, I spent my 100,000 lab tokens there. And then you can pop in your bag and sell the Arthur shards that you have left, essentially. That will refund you the tokens if you don't have the tokens. I believe it does refund you at a lower rate. I'm not sure you get a 100% refund. They might have changed that. You can refund. Yep, there it is. So you lose 15,000 lab tokens right on board. You do not you do not get your full value back, essentially, when you sell them. I'm confused about Alna's ult. It says it cancels haste, so the twins and Alna just keep canceling each other out each time. Well, the twins will bring the haste. Alna will cancel out the haste or slow the haste. If they're on the same team, it's just going to be super haste. If they're on opposing teams, they're going to be kind of counterintuitive versus each other. But agility heroes go right, Adam. Agility heroes, yep, to the right. Just saying that it's worth. Yeah, I mean, if you're maxed out on coins, Clocks, and you're going to start losing them in the mailbox, I would absolutely buy some of the shards. If it's buying shards at a reduced rate for a refund or losing out on tokens, because for a lot of players, the mailboxes are full and have been full for a long time. Honestly, so there's a point where you might need to sell some of those back. I'm doing AE on 3 accounts, normal server, and 1 test. Yeah, that's quite a bit, Hills. I only do 2. I do 1 on, well, actually I do 3. I do this account, I do the pay to win account, I do the test server. Test server, of course, to check everything out. We're past the first boss, almost to the second boss right now on the test server, which is good. Mizo slaying the Mauler faction with his debuff if you don't kill the enemy in the first 10 seconds. Yeah, there's a couple with, especially Mizoth. If Mizoth has the ability to scale, he is super hard to kill. He's another hero that is similar to Isolde. If you don't kill Mizoth, if you don't kill Orthos very early in the fight, he's very, very hard to kill because he provides crowd control and he can take a truckload of damage. I started overwhelming with questions. Is it possible to solo attack the masked Oden? Yeah, you can try any of the bosses. What do you mean solo attack? You mean to kill him by yourself? Because Oden is right. Which gate is he? I think he's this one. Yeah. So he's right there. Well, the attacks essentially you do by yourself, D. So when you get in there, you do the attacks by yourself. So you'll always solo attack. It just takes a whole team of people essentially to take down the boss. A ranger plus support or main support case, it depends on the heroes you have. Also depends on which side you are. The right side is the ranger side. The left side is mage. But definitely, I would go ranger support or mage support. What you want to do though is when you come in here, you want to focus this as high as possible. So you want to take this to level 2. You want to take this to level 3. You want to take it to level 3 with 4 relics. You want to take it to 4. You want to take it to 5. Long before you're building the other trees. The other trees are going to come with time, but you want to focus specifically on one tree, trying to level it up pretty much all the way maxed as far as you can. So when you look at the titles here, when you look at the ranks, again, it's going to say build all of your trees to level 3 and acquire 4 relics. So it says like 4, I think 4 legendary relics. So you want to get 4 legendary relics before you spend all your time building your trees to level 3. Again, focusing on the main specific tree is essentially what you want to do. Who should I get first? Taylene or Pharrell? Taylene, Antonio, absolutely Taylene. Personally, I'll just buy cheaper things such as dust if I can push it, then a hero. Yeah, and a lot of people do board. A lot of people focus on the dust and the EXP, especially because of the leveling for it. I'm collecting all the Arthur shards. Is anything I can do? What do you mean, Memorian? So if you collected all the Arthur shards, you can build Arthur, or you can sell the shards back at 75% of the value and essentially get Ainz and Albedo. So that's kind of up to you. Attack him with 1 hero so you can use 5 alts. Usually D, that doesn't really work. The simple fact that with the alts is you can have 1 hero alt 5 times by himself. The 5 alts are, it's not going to work how you think. It doesn't work how you think. So even if you have, let's say, strong heroes in here that have regular normal attacks that are very strong, you can actually put them in here and have 1 hero such as the twins alt 5 times and do a absolute insane amount of damage. Like if you're running Saurus and Isolde, for instance, they don't need to alt. They don't need to alt to do all their damage. They're reluctant on the healing. If you're running the twins with them, the twins alt, they will absolutely destroy damage. Yeah, it's most of the, and some heroes won't live. So you'll actually, if you put 1 hero in there, remember Oden will fight 1 hero. Not sure how many heroes are going to be able to live. There's a couple like Rigby, a couple that have their own healing capacity, which will work very well. But overall, there's a lot of heroes that you're not going to be able to solo it with. I think Lilith should buff mages. Yes, absolutely, Kwam. They need to buff mages. Big thing with mages is, I mean, the biggest difference between them is the tree. So that's really the big thing, is their tree. So overall, the power surge, their 25 ability, very, very underwhelming. Same with the artifact. They're giving them a lot more energy, but they're not giving them power. They're not giving them actual haste. They're not giving them actual damage. They're not giving them the ability to do more damage like the ranger tree does in the sorcery tree. The sorcery tree is more focused on the energy, the alts, which in turn, without the haste, they're not, the haste will give you more energy. If they gave mages haste, if they gave the sorcery tree haste, it would make a huge, huge difference. I may or not have chosen the right side and realized all my characters are mages. Well, then you will be really good when you get to the end boss. Essentially, though, is you can still come through. You can still do really well, even if celerity goes the left side, even if mages go the right side. You'll still be able to do well. Not going to be very detrimental. Yeah, self-healing is the big thing with Oden when you get there. How far does Relics need to go 5th stage? Essentially, Hill 5.2 is roughly the beginning stage. So once my celerity hero here hits 5, so once this is level 5, the top 2 up here are usually the ones you want. The top 2 or top 3, depending on the build. Once you have that, I build some of the support tree, or you can actually build the off tree. So essentially what's going to happen if you guys are, newer to the Abyssal Expedition, you have the celerity tree and the might tree, which does a lot of damage to Ainz. So this is going to be the main damage for Ainz. one of these two trees. The other two trees, which is the substance tree essentially and the mage tree, are going to be the two that do maximum damage to Albedo. You have to take the bosses out together. So once you're building this tree, once you got the substance tree or the celerity tree up a little higher, I would build the mage tree just for the simple fact, when you're further in the expedition, you're probably going to need it. You're not going to be able to sit and pump out damage time and time and time again with celerity, dumping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stamina in there with celerity. There's going to be a point where you need at least, let's say, 5 heroes that are Sork with some decent relics so you can try to catch Albedo up. It is really the big one. There's going to be a point where you're going to have to catch Albedo up if he's lacking behind. Either that or you're just going to stop. So if you stop, let's say that Albedo's at 50%, you have Ain's at 30%, you have a very, very big gap between the two. You can either, one, help out with the sorcery tree to actually take some of the life down, take a lot of the damage, try to take Albedo down by helping. Or two, your other option is literally just sit there and store stamina, which there's no reason to do, because if you're storing stamina, essentially storing stamina and saving and saving and saving, if and when you finally get the boss down, when he pops back up, everybody in celerity, everybody in might is going to dump stamina again, and you're going to create essentially a bigger gap between those heroes faster because everyone was sitting on the stamina for celerity. That's why building another tree, building 2 specs, is very, very good, because there will be a point where this team, even if it's just, again, 5 sorcery heroes, that you will save stamina on here because celerity is your main carry. The mage tree, you can sit until you're trying to fill the gap between the end bosses, essentially. What's going on, Spectral Fury? Yeah, absolutely loving this game, absolutely loving the event. But at this point, you just kind of camp. So it took, 15, 20 minutes. People have been getting this error. They're going to have to fix this. A lot of people have been closing the Abyssal Expedition, going back in, reloading the game. So I'm sure they're going to address it pretty quick. They said it's a problem with all of the players entering, which it looks like we're almost full. We have this little gap. The map is tiny. Little gap in here, which new players will fill in when this is completely full, and we can continue to connect. We're pretty well connected here, but as soon as we get some more relics, as soon as we get some more essence, we can start building up these trees and continue our progression, essentially going south. Mages are very dependent on ultimate ability because their ult is the main thing. Yeah, and Quam, in that respect, they're very dependent on the ultimate, but if you gave mages haste, haste would equal more energy, meaning more ults overall, and that's where there's kind of a fine line. So essentially, even with the mage relic, you're giving mages more energy up front, but you're not putting the haste on them. They're not doing the damage with the haste. They're not going through, because remember, the ult is just one thing that they have. In heroes like Isabella, her Void Barrage is 10 times more powerful than her ult, which has need to be adjusted. So essentially in here, you do not want her to ult because her normal attacks are stronger. Her normal attacks are way stronger than the other ones. Should I worry if I can't get a tier 3? Nope, Poa. I didn't take any tier 3s on here. I can't. Essentially, if you're looking here, when you go to attack or when you go to view, if this is popping up in red, it is difficult. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to take this. Whom are getting multiple tier 3s? They must be, Poa, they must be on a much, much higher level than where you're at right now, level-wise. So if you look here, so the enemies here are level 260. I'm coming here at 279. So I have a 19 level advantage, but they are still very difficult depending on your resonating crystal. Like I said, if you're 450 resonating crystal, T3s on the first day will be super easy. If you're 450 or higher, I'm only at 390. So I'm still essentially 60 levels shy of getting T3s on the first day. If you're maxed out, so if you're sitting on a level 600 resonating crystals, you can take tier 4s or town 1s on the first day. So if I had a 600 crystal, I can come in here, I can view this. This might say difficult, or this will not say difficult. This will say challenging, and essentially these as well. These levels 265, but if you're rolling in here with a 600 crystal, you're at level 300. These will say challenging as well for the tier 4 based on the level of your heroes coming in here. So it'll be relatively easy. Again, it's just based on level. Is the God comp able to get T3? I took 2 of them, Hills. I took 2 with the God comp. Only 2. I tried a couple. I could only get 2. T3s hit yellow around 0.3 relics at around 400. Yep, you just have to wait. Essentially now, you also have to think, Poa, is you don't want to invest too much stamina right now. Once you get your 20 lands, that's what you want. You want your 20 lands right now based on what I have. I am maximizing my essence. So even the difference between here, you get 60 common relics, here you get 80 and you get rare relics. Chances of these dropping are pretty rare, just having 1 village 3, but for the 20 bonus, it's not worth the stamina. If they're challenging, go ahead and take them. Very, very easy. Did you deselect your heroes? Yes, I did. I came in here with a God tier comp, and I came in here with my Eron comp. I deselected everybody once they were done. This is the celerity teams that we're running with now. So we did drop everybody out of there. Hasini. You can get tier 3 with God. Yes, you can. Which, like I said, I took 2. I was able to take 2. We tried the God tier comp in here, and it did not work. So it's going to be very specific to the camp that you're fighting to see if the God tier comp works. It's not like, oh, I brought the God tier comp, I'm going to take all these T3s. Still very, very challenging. Only useful dropping the field squares for T3s. Yes. So essentially when we drop this, this Serpent's Prairie square, which we just settled there. Settling, if you guys don't know, so in here you can settle. It puts our little camp here, as you can see. If your camp is linked to a boss, you get a 5% bonus. So make sure you're settled next to a boss. Make sure you're connected to the boss. I could only get 12 right now and ran out of stamina. Yeah, and right now, again, just save stamina. Your goal is 12. So if you essentially, if you only got 12, so to get 20 off the bat, we took a lot of these lands. We took, I believe, this one. Our movement tiles we took with 2 heroes. We had Mahira, we had Aziz. The other ones we took with the twins, Taylene and Rowan. So essentially, I split my first 5 heroes into 2 separate teams. The 2 separate teams essentially were able to take, 3 or 4 squares each. So I took 8 squares just with that one set team. So it was very, very tough. But when you start not taking these movement squares, so not taking these actual blank squares with a full 5-person team, because you're going to burn through your stamina too quick and end up just like that. You're going to take 12 instead of 20 lands. And even here with the basic land, you still get common relics. Everything we need in here is common relics. So with the relic drops, they're on a timer. And I'll just touch on this really quick. So if I have, let's say, out of my 20 lands, I have 20 lands that drop common relics, there's actually a timer associated with it. For every relic you have, it reduces the common timer a certain amount of time. Meaning that if I wait that amount of time, I will see a common relic drop, which is the same with all of them. So there's actually a couple timers. I know I've seen one on Reddit. There's a couple. So even here, when you get to the rare relic, so if I have one, it's kind of the multiplication factor. So if I have one town or one village that has a rare relic, it gives me X amount of time to get a relic. So in X amount of time, I will get a rare relic. Every additional one that I have takes down that timer for getting a rare relic. So essentially the more you want, and that is why when you're looking even over here, when you get to the tier 5s, you start getting elite relics. Elite relics are really, really what you want to pick up, and you want to pick them up as fast as possible. So most players will finish the Abyssal Expedition owning usually 25 to 30 or 30 plus Town 2s tier 5s because you want the elites. Once you start lowering down the elite relics, you'll actually, the timer on the elite relics, you will start getting them more often. If you look at going higher, so if you're taking 7s and you're taking 8s, which this elite actually turns to legendary, the legendary timer is very, very long. Even if you have multiple legendaries, you get multiple legendary towns. It's usually every day or two, usually day and a half, 2 days, that you might see one relic. Well, in that same amount of time, you could have picked up a ton of elite relics in that same amount of time, resulting in you having the option to sell relics. So from the bag, you can actually sell relics back depending on the tree that you built. So that can actually make you progress faster because you're picking up extra essence from selling the resources that you're not going to use. So like I said, there's a lot that goes into this, and a lot that goes into legendaries take 1 day if you have 7 T7s. There you go, board. So it takes an incredible amount of time to get the legendary relics, even with the end towns. I know the legendary relics are very, very expensive, but essentially you could get a legendary relic you're not going to use, and then you just end up selling it anyways. So it goes right back. So here again, I log into Abyssal Expedition, and my general rule of thumb is when you're going through here, I log in twice. I log in 2 times per day per account that I'm running the Abyssal Expedition on. That way I can collect my resources. I can get my blessed relics. I can spend my stamina because you only get 4 an hour. So 4 an hour, if you look, so that's 12 hours. So you get 48 stamina. 48 stamina is equivalent when you look at actual attacking. Is equivalent to about 4 attacks. So you get 4 attacks per team in that 12-hour window. So overall, you're not going to be sitting on a ton of stamina. But what you want to make sure, and this is general rule of thumb number 1, is you do not want to be left on a side or essentially by yourself. You don't want to be left on a side by yourself. So essentially, if we kill this boss and then players back here that were all connected start disconnecting, you don't want to be the one that is way up here, essentially just sitting by yourself. That is why you want to always stay with the Abyssal Expedition. You always want to stay with the people. So once we do kill this first boss, first thing you want to do priority when you kill this first boss is take anything in here, whether it's an empty tile, whether it's a village, whether it's a town, whether it is anything. You want to be at least in here. You want to be keeping up with the expedition. Generally, what we do is from this boss all the way to the next boss. So from essentially from the boss down here, Cecilia, all the way up to the boss, all the way up here with Baden, we connect the line. So once Baden is dead, we connect from Baden all the way up to Oden. Once we are at Oden, this line going from Cecilia to Baden will absolutely disappear in a couple hours. Keeping some lands through here, but this line between these two will stay open. Essentially, we do the same going through here. So there'll be a point where you kind of make progression in jumps as you're going through. The rates are different depending on settlements. T8s drop once per 6 days, T7 once per 7 days. Yeah, blank tile in the Forbidden Zone once every 14 days. And as we know, how long does the Abyssal Expedition last? So looking here, here is our timer. or it actually doesn't show the timer there. Where does it show it? I know I seen the timer earlier today. Right here, ends in 15 days. So if you have one blank tile in the Forbidden Zone, you get one legendary relic or one mythic relic every 14 days. So chances are you're not going to get one because this ends in 15 days, essentially. So unfortunately, you have to have multiple places. We have a blessed relic here, which there is our first one. This is the one we want. The Ruthless Chopper is usually the first one with the Hidden Blade. Any of them that are going to give attack. That is what we want, attack. So let's look here. So this was our T3. Again, in red. One relic is probably not going to be enough to go ahead and build, but there is our first relic in there. Taking this one, still red. So still going to be very difficult. So essentially we'll wait. Right now we're at 1140 an hour. So every hour we should be able to essentially get at least one relic within every hour. What is a good comp to build for late game 3-team battles as free to play other than Iran Sophia and Arthur Gwen? A lot of people Hills will run with the Lightbearer team. So if you're free to play, the team essentially, there's a couple different teams that are good. The Daemon team comp, so running Daemon with Nara with Pharrell, very strong team comp running through there. Pretty much with any support. So a lot of people will mix the Graveborn with the Maulers, essentially for Nemitsu, or hopefully at that point you have Taylene or the twins. If you have one or two other support heroes, especially Taylene. So if you're running Daemon with Nara and Pharrell and Taylene, it is a very strong team combination, depending on your third team. But the Daemon team comp does really well. So does Lightbearers. If you run like with Rose Gwen or running with Rose with Belinda. So I've actually run the team comp quite a bit running with Belinda. But if you're using Gwen and Arthur, you could definitely use Maulers are good. Brutus is good. I have Brutus here. 21. I think he's a little bit higher. I want to get him all the way up. I've been leveling him up. Because of his immunity shield. Very powerful hero, even though a lot of people do not use him. He has an incredible immunity shield. So if you're not fighting anyone who has anything to get through last gasp, so you get 8 seconds here. Right there, just his stat gives you 8 seconds. Here, extended by another second, and he gets a shield at plus 30 for another 5 seconds. So that takes his 8 seconds to 9 seconds. Then when you look here, right here, goes up by another 2 seconds. So as 9 seconds go to 11 seconds. The ability last gasp is extended by 2 seconds for each non-summoned ally that dies before or during its use. So if you have a hero die, you could essentially extend this by another 8 seconds, which is good. I mean, he's good. And that's when and if the immunity pops. They still have to get him low enough to essentially pop his immunity. Basically a timer, each extra settlement. Yes, exactly. It's probability rate. It's not a literal rate. If you have 40 T7s, you can expect roughly 6 legendary drops per day. Yeah, D, and that's exactly what it is. It's a timer. So each additional land you take just reduces the timer. Is what you're seeing. TH should not be obtained before beating the boss and never should be obtained more than once. Yeah, absolutely, D. A lot of people really just shoot for the T8s because they want the Prince title before anything. We focus on the bosses and then we save the very last day. We save the very last day of the Abyssal Expedition to finish out the T8s for anyone who needs it once the boss is dead. Don't know if we're going to be able to kill the boss essentially every single time. It's going to be interesting to see how far we can get, but it looks like we're number 2. So we moved to number 2 with the Essence. They're a little bit ahead of us, but the Essence are definitely going. Warband is there again. We're little bit down on this one, but we are doing pretty well in the main one. T8s for competitive guild is almost like yeah. The only time that we took them board was when we needed to progress. When there was actually the T8s blocking the path, we went through there. So guys, that will do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the Abyssal Expedition. It is open. Make sure you run it. Even if you don't hit prints, even if you don't do well in the expedition, as long as you're trying as much as you can, definitely go in there and definitely push the Abyssal Expedition all that you can. It is a very, very cool event. You get scrolls out of it, you get shards, you get blue crystals, you get a crazy amount of loot. I know it can be pretty time consuming, but I promise the more that you run this, the more that you do the Abyssal Expedition, it gets easier and easier, especially with some of the tweaks that they make. It is very, very cool to see how they are building it and how it's built out. So this is the fifth, I think this is the fifth iteration. We did 4 of the alpha test. We did the beta test, which I think was 4. I think this is the 5th. So this is already the 5th time of running the Abyssal Expedition for a lot of players. Just got a T3, very, very nice. Absolutely amazing event. I've loved it since the moment they put it in. It's very cool. It adds a very big strategy point to the game. It's not just, oh, I can try this over and over and over and over again. Try essentially the same stage 100 times until you get it to work. Because when you do reset the battle, it does cost stamina. It costs 1 stamina every time you reset the battle. So make sure when you're going in to fight a camp, you're strong enough to have a chance. You're strong enough to have a chance to kill the camp, essentially. If not, again, you're just going to be burning stamina. We're up to 3 now, so this team is going to sit probably till tomorrow morning, and then we will continue our push down. By tomorrow morning, even later tonight, I can probably take T3s with no problem when I pick up another relic. So guys, enjoy the expedition. Remember, there is a ton of stuff coming. The winter events are coming. The skins are coming. Right now, the Vault is up. The Misty Valley is up. Bountiful Trials are coming. Ulna is coming. They're also talking about multiple dimensional heroes coming. So AFK Arena is not really a game for busy you right now, which is crazy. Can Legendary Plus go to plus 60? Yes. Yep, clocks 160 is the max for Legendary Plus. And then it's capped at that point. So as you see, I've made a little bit more progression in here. I have a video that I'm working on right now. Just got to go through and edit. How much essence am I collecting at the moment? I think 1120? 1140. So we're collecting 1140 an hour. So essentially what I'm going to do is when I collect a couple relics, I am going to drop some of these settlements. So some of the ones, not the main line. So this is kind of the main trunk line, but some of the ones like off here to the side, some of the ones that do not need to be connected, I'm going to take tier 3s, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 tier 3s plus here. We will pick those up. So I will drop one of my settlements here to pick up one of the T3s, and we'll continue the transition from no level all the way up to 3s, and then we will go from there. So essentially, remember, go up 2 levels, because when you go up, so if I drop a 1, I should be going to a 3 at least. If I drop a 3, I should be going to a 5 to make sure the progression is worth it for the stamina. So guys, again, that will do it for tonight. A very early stream because the expedition came up here. It was 7 p.m. So the Abyssal Expedition did come up here at 7 p.m., which is very, very cool. We're in. I burned all my stamina. I got 1 relic out of it. Just have to wait and camp at this point to essentially just get some more stamina. Guys, that will do it for tonight. Thank you for joining me for live stream. Enjoy the Abyssal Expedition. I'm going to see if we can come through and kind of just do an update kind of here and there as we get to the bosses. I'm working on the boss teams, team comp. So I heard that celerity is the best to put. I have 3 ascended and other guys are legendary plus. Yes, you will go 10 celerity heroes. The big thing is with the celerity heroes. So even here, when you get relics, so even when you get to level 2 relics, on what level you get the red chest for monthly cards. Those are the monthly cards are free. These ones, when you buy it, these I've always gotten. This is when they redid the card. So they redid the monthly card and the deluxe. They used to be just diamonds and only diamonds. They added this stack of resources, 2 red chests per day. So literally you get 2 emblems per day. Plus you get either tree juice or you get po coins, 300 per day. You get this for 30 days. So essentially, right there, I get 9,000 po coins out of here over 30 days. I will get 60 red chests plus the diamonds, which the monthly card, the deluxe monthly, are 110% worth it. A VIP level, we're on 14, almost to 15. Same with the pay to win account. Pay to win is almost 15. At 14 right now, so definitely making some progression in there. I get 60 blue stones in 6. Oh, I wonder if it's because Max, the only thing that I can think is if you're getting lower in there, it's because you might not have the heroes unlocked. Max, do you have any heroes that can use signature items? So you got to have heroes that are mythic or above. So mythic level, unlocking the signature items. You might be at the point you have to have signature items unlocked. So they might be giving you blue stones because you don't have the signature items unlocked, Max. But I get the red chest right now, which as you just seen. So here, big thing with the red chest, with this type of red chest, is you have to redeem them. They do not redeem automatically. So I actually have to physically, I have 5 and soon 8 ascended. Then Max, I am 110% not sure. Not exactly sure. So these we've been saving. So there's 600 more po coins. Did they change? Was it VIP level? I wonder if Labyrinth Token Stargazer Remind feature. Labyrinth unlock 4 times battle speed. Misty Valley. Guild Boss. I don't think it has anything to do with VIP levels. No, I don't think. No, I don't see anything that says in here about the VIP levels. I'm not exactly sure. Honestly, I can say without a doubt, I am not exactly sure. I don't see raises damage by 8% or reduces damage by 8% in the Misty Valley. 9 days, still 4. 14-day harvest time. 13, there's the Stargazer. Regularly claimed codes, which we haven't got codes in forever. 20 days. No, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I don't know, Max. That's a very, very good question. I would try Discord, try the AFK Arena Discord, or even try Reddit on why it's not giving you the red chests. I'm not sure. When they did this update, this is exactly what it brought me when they did the update. I don't think it has anything. Every time a monthly card, activating the monthly card lets you enjoy. Daily rewards are based on a current VIP level. So right there it is. It doesn't say it though. Daily rewards are based on a player's current VIP level. I'm not sure. So there has to be something tied to the VIP level on why I'm getting the chest. So that must be it, Max, right there. They're based on the player's current VIP level. So essentially when I hit VIP 15, is this going to, am I going to get more of these essentially? And I wish I knew because both of my accounts are VIP 14s. So yeah, it looks like that's it. It looks like it's the daily rewards are based on player's current VIP level. So the VIP level affects it. Yep. So that's it. So it is the VIP level. You were correct, Max. So guys, again, that will do it for the live stream tonight. Enjoy the Abyssal Expedition. Never realized that, Max. But it does say VIP level. That's exactly what it says. So the higher the VIP level, I'm guessing the better rewards they're going to offer in the daily packs. I don't know where it stops or where it caps, but that's what it seems like. Yeah, I would definitely ask around. I'm at VIP 11 and don't have it. It might be because I know also I believe the daily rewards are tied to spending money, putting money in it. So guys, that will do it. Continue your progression in the Abyssal Expedition. Absolutely amazing event. Running through here, it is phenomenal. I love playing it. So that will do it. I'm going to go get some rest, get some sleep. I have a very busy weekend. I'm actually pulling up all of the carpet in my living room. We are getting it replaced on Monday, so we have a lot of stuff to do this weekend. So might be a little lacking on the videos right now, just because it is going to be a busy week. Again, I had family over today. I'm having probably family over tomorrow as well. So I have a lot of things to do. So thank you guys for all the love and support. We are almost to 14,000 viewers already. So absolutely crazy with the amount of subscribers we're seeing, amount of views that we're getting on the videos. I am absolutely amazed with how far this has come. Yep, sorry, Sono Rez. I seen you. I've been following you through the campaign. I'm right behind you in the next stream. I think I might even come up and overtake the Sono Rez. So guys, that will do it for tonight. Have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy the Abyssal Expedition. It is such a very, very cool event. Go through the Misty Valley, go through the Dismal Maze, go through the expedition. Sunday, they're supposed to drop all of the holiday stuff from what I'm hearing. So it will be very, very cool to see. And Alna will be out relatively soon with the new patch that's coming. New patch, new artifact, new skins, ton of stuff. Don't know if the skins are going to be free. Don't know if it's going to be pay to win. We're going to be, we're going to have to see exactly what is going to come with the holiday event. So we will have to see. So again, guys, thank you for joining me for a stream. Have a good night. Be safe. And as always, thank you guys for watching.